Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are. Again, my name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I mostly speak about INFJ stuff here and I hope that you enjoy my videos. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about how INFJs have this weird thing about fairness, and if we are, ever being unfair in any way, we are extremely angry with ourselves if we do that, right? Or we just kind of run away. For example, I'll give you a very simple example. I usually go dancing every Saturday morning at this bar that's really close to me. They go on with music around till noon, but I get there around 6 or 7 a.m. and I'll dance for a couple hours and then I go to work. And it's really hot here, right? It's a tropical country, it's extremely hot. And so they have a couple of fans situated around the bar, around the club, and I'll just be around those fans because I get really hot because I'm dancing like a mad woman, right? And so I'm next to those fans, but it's a weird thing inside of me where I have to be really careful in my own head, and I'm constantly watching around me because I don't want to be hogging the fans. If anyone else wants the fans, if anyone else feels a need to be around the fans or take in the fans' glory, then I step away, I walk away, I move away so they can do that. I don't want to be perceived as this person who's like being unfair and just taking over the entire fans perimeter. Now, this is a very stupid example, but it's actually really, really, really true in everything that you can think of. It's not just fans, it's not just space, it's not just yoga mats, it's not just food, it's not just money, it's everything. When I was younger, if there was only one serving left of any kind of food, I wouldn't be able to take it because it's not fair, because that means that I'm taking away from someone else in my family, and that's not gonna happen, right? Of course, we can share, but there's no way I would have taken the whole serving for myself because that's unfair. Same thing with if there's only one drink left and someone else wants it, they will get it rather than me. I will not take it because it's unfair. I guess in my head I'm thinking I don't deserve to take the last serving. Why should I take it rather than someone else, right? And so I think it has to do again with our sense of fairness, our sense of justice. We have this thing inside of us where we always want everything to be just. We want everything to be fair. We want everyone in this world to have everything in equal quantity. Now, we're not communists, so we know that this world doesn't work like that. And, we're living in a capitalistic society, so we know that sometimes things can be unfair. But if it has anything to do with us, anything to do with anything in our control, we will make sure that we make it as fair as possible. So when I was hanging out with my siblings and they were young, and I'd make sure I explained to them that it's not fair that we take from someone else. I always try to make sure that we were fair with the children that we played with. Just because we have a little bit more than them doesn't mean that we should take more than them, right? And we have to make sure that if there's food on the table, that everyone gets an equal quantity. Of course, if you're bigger or if you need more food, obviously you should get more. There's so many permutations and combinations to this, but this always is in our head. We always want to make sure that everything, whatever is going on around us, is conducted in a fair manner. It's conducted in a manner where no one person gets more than another person, because again, that's not fair, right? It shouldn't be this way, right? And so the same thing with a fan. Like, I am not the only person that's hot over there. I am one of them. And so I know that it's there and I can take advantage of it. But if there's someone else who needs it, then they will take priority over me in my head. And I'll give my spot up to them. And then once they go away, I can take over again. But if someone else takes over at that point, then they deserve it, not me. Now, also, I think it has partly to do with the fact that we have feelings of unworthiness and shame and all that stuff. We feel we don't deserve good things, blah, 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 right? And so, I've kind of worked through those issues myself, and I know that for the longest time I thought that I didn't deserve these good things, because why would I deserve it? What have I done to deserve it? Have I done anything useful? Am I an important person anyway? Have I caused good things to happen in this world? No. Then why do I deserve good things, right? So that was the kind of logic in my head for the longest time. Now I realize, okay, I do deserve good things, but I don't want to be hogging things. I don't want it to be unfair. So if I'm sitting in a seat and someone else is standing for a long time, then we will switch. They get to sit for a bit and I get to stand. If I have, a bottle of water and someone else doesn't, then I have to share that with someone else, because it's only fair, right? The same thing applies to other people, and when other people don't afford us the same fairness, then we get angry with them, and that's when the door slam happens. So a lot of people don't think of fairness and justice the same way as we do. So they will take and take and take and take and not give back or not share, right? A lot of people are like that, and they don't think of it as we do. Again, I've said this to you guys before. A lot of times, the way we think of things is not necessarily the way other people think of it. So we have to explain ourselves to people. Otherwise, we're just door slamming people without explaining why we got angry with them. Now, this world is also a lot about entitlement. Like, you deserve things just because you are alive. A lot of people think that they should be given things just because they're here. I'm here, so give me things. They don't think about fairness. They don't think about, hogging. People are fine with hogging things. I know people who will, when I give the fan up to them, they will just take it and they'll just stay there for their entire morning without any feelings of guilt. Now, I couldn't do that myself, obviously, and I am surprised and amazed by these people who are able to do it, but that's sometimes the way it is, right? And so we have to be really careful as INFJs, because it's very easy for us to just keep on giving to people and be like, yeah, people will just keep on taking, and then what? And we're depleted and we're not getting anything back. So how is that fair? It's not, right? So it's not only about being fair to other people, but also obviously being fair to yourself. Are you taking care of your own needs? Are you taking care of all the things that you deserve? Are you taking care of your own needs, self? Yeah, it's really important. We always forget to do that. And so a lot of times, when people are hogging that fan, just using that as an example, I will step in. I'll be like, you know what, you've been standing there for like 50 minutes now. I'm going to take 5 minutes and I'm going to stand in front of the fan, right? And mostly people understand, because people, are used to that kind of stuff. So they'll step away and I can use the fan for as long as I want again, right? Now, again, I'm not going to hog it because my sense of fairness will not let me do that. But again, it depends on the person that you're surrounded by. My main thing with the individuals that I surround myself with, the friends that I have, I always sense, I always try to sense what their sense of fairness looks like. What does their justice look like? How do they look at people in the world? How do they treat people in the world? Are they empathic? Do they care about fairness, or are they all right with just taking and not giving back? All that stuff. And so I'm trying to always hang out with people who have a sense of fairness, a sense of justice, a sense of making sure that there's equality in the world as much as possible, right? We are idealistic, and so sometimes we cannot get to that level of justice that we want, because this is a real world that we live in, and it's hard sometimes to get to that point. So we have to realize that we can only get to a certain point, and then we have to give up, and then we have to say, okay, this is all I can get to, and that's all I can really do. I hope this makes sense to you guys. It's really important to me, this sense of justice that I have, this sense of fairness, because I get into a lot of conflicts with people because of it. A lot of people don't understand it. And so I've been really trying to make myself understand what it's all about, and then explaining it to other people, because it's really important that people in my life know what I'm talking about. Because if they don't, there's going to be conflict, because people don't think in the same way of fairness and justice as we do sometimes, right? It's really, really important, guys. If you are having conflicts because of this, because of your sense of justice or fairness, then make sure you have that conversation. I've already said this to you guys before. Don't just door slam someone just because they don't get it. A lot of people don't get it because they don't understand, because we think in a different way sometimes, and that's totally fine. It's not a big deal. It doesn't make us the devil or them the devil, right? It's just that we need to have that conversation with them, make them realize, okay, I don't like it when you're always hogging the TV, or I don't always like it when you're hogging the newspaper, or whatever it might be, whatever you're having the conflict about. Rather than just door slamming them and getting rid of them completely, have that conversation first. And then if they keep on doing it over and over again, then obviously do what you want to do. Door slam them, get rid of them, do whatever the hell you want to do, right? Okay. I hope this makes sense again, and I hope that you guys have an amazing day wherever you are. I'm so grateful that you guys are listening and watching and subscribing and commenting on my channel. I'll see you guys next time around. Bye for now.